Hi, this is Jeff Coronado on behalf of JCSC, and this is a session in Bridging the Gap. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Bridging the Gap, by all means, I invite you to take a look at the introduction on our YouTube channel at JCSC LLC, and that'll give you a pretty good idea of what we achieve, what we try to achieve, the goals, basically the purpose behind the Bridging the Gap sessions. But with that in mind, let's go ahead and jump into this particular session. The title is URM Chimney 1 -2. It's a chimney anchorage at a roof. And what we're going to cover in particular is the assembly uh, between anchoring the chimney to roof framing. Think of it, if you will, as kind of like getting our definitions straight. You know, before we jump into using terms, we want to make sure that we understand our definitions, right? So before we start getting into kind of like the forces that are involved, how do you determine forces? How do you determine capacities, elements that you use in the connection? We first want to kind of evaluate what the connection looks like. So that's the question. What are the elements in a chimney to wood framed roof assembly? So let's scroll down here. And this is what our assembly looks like. Let me see if I can. Okay, so this is a little bit better. We've got these pages here side by side so that we can look at the graphics on the left and look at the terms on the right. Okay, so we've got, no, let me go to black. We've got a brick chimney here. Now, what we're doing here, by the way, this is a plan view. So if you're early on in your career, maybe you're still in school, you may not be familiar with the term plan view. I know I wasn't when I was in school. A plan view basically means a top view. Okay, if you've already had your graphics classes and you've seen top view, side view, bottom view, what have you, when you talk about a top view in school, in the industry, that's what we refer to as a plan view. So this is a plan view. We're looking at this assembly from on top, and we've got a chimney here. Okay, so this is, I didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. That's the chimney. So think of a brick chimney. Now, let me clear that because we're only showing part of it, right? You can see that that only kind of this corner, if you will, of the chimney is being shown. So the rest of the chimney kind of continues out here, but we're not really showing that, okay? So we're showing a portion of the chimney, again in plan view. We've got the roof rafters. So these elements here are the roof rafters, these double lined in blue, okay, that I'm now kind of drawing over. Those are our roof rafters. All right, let me clear that. Then we've got 4x blocks, all right? The 4x blocks are, let me change colors here. Let me go to yellow, and then I'll kind of highlight. I don't know that I like that. Let me change that. Let me go to a green. So this is a 4x block. This is a 4x block. These 4x blocks, which are pieces of lumber, think of a joist, a rafter, if you will, cut into smaller pieces. Those pieces likely are fitting between the rafters. That's what a block is. So here we have not a 2x block, but a 4x block. So these 4x blocks are being fitted in between the 2x rafters. And that's it. Those are the 4x blocks. On top of the 4x blocks, let me clear the screen. On top of the 4x blocks, you can probably see that there are two red dashed lines. Do you see that? There's two red dashed lines. That represents a steel strap. So basically, we've got a steel strap that is kind of connecting down into the 4x block. And I'll remove that now so that you can see it. But you've got this steel strap connecting down into those 4x blocks. Then you've got a bent bar dowel. Okay, so you can kind of see here, there's a bent bar. That's this, and it comes out and it goes out here. Okay, I'll remove my annotation so that you can see it. But basically that's the bent bar. So you can kind of see the idea. The idea is that the bent bar is what's anchoring the chimney construction into the wood frame construction. So it's the bent bar that connects to the steel strap, and in turn the steel strap is connected to the blocks, and the blocks are connected to the rafters. All right, so those are kind of the elements of this assembly. Like I said, in other bridging the gap sessions, let me clear this. In other bridging the gap sessions, we will actually jump into the forces. How do you determine the forces in this connection, in this assembly? But right now, we just wanted to kind of introduce what the elements are in the assembly. So with that, that concludes URM Chimney 1-2, the assembly. For related bridging the gap sessions, you can take a look at our channel. Any of the other sessions that you find on our channel that are listed as URM Chimney 1, those will be sessions that will cover topics related to this particular connection, this particular assembly. And in general, the URM chimneys, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, those are all going to be touching upon topics that are similarly related to this type of connection. So in other bridging the gap sessions, in this family of sessions, we will determine the forces, the anchors are subjected to, the sizing of the elements, connections in the connectors in the connection. Okay, so with that, sure would appreciate if you give us a thumbs up if you found this helpful. If you do find it helpful, by all means, subscribe to the JCSE LLC channel. Just hover over the JCSE logo and click on subscribe, and then you can receive notifications when new Bridging the Gap sessions are posted. Okay, real good.